Greetings, people of the internet. Dovik here. Today's video is about a game that has a very, very special place in my heart. For those of you who may not know, I am a huge fan of the Fallout games. I've played basically every game up until Fallout 76. I've played Tactics, I've played Brotherhood of Steel, I've played Fallout Shelter, I've played New Vegas, I've played 1, I've played 2, and I've played all the other games under the sun. But Fallout 3, on the other hand, that is a game that was basically my introduction into the Fallout series. Up until when I had actually played this, I was a pretty big fan of Bethesda. I was a huge fan of like Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind. I even really enjoyed playing back in the day, but I never actually got into the Fallout series a whole lot because who knows. I don't actually know why I never really got into the Fallout series early on in my childhood. And Fallout 3, believe it or not, was one of the first, if not the first, Fallout game that I had ever played. Now, I played this, and then I immediately went straight into New Vegas, which was like the infinitely better game. And thankfully, the previous owner of this here Xbox 360 Slim model, which I got off of eBay for like $60. Thankfully, the previous owner of that system had all of the DLC for this game. Now, for those of you who are fans of the Xbox 360 may know that all of the DLC for Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas are DRM-free downloadable content, which means you can take a USB stick, put the DLC onto the USB stick, and it'll just read. It will just work. It's a very rare case where a game that you do put on a USB does work because the copyright protection for the Xbox 360 is really weird, but that's not the point of this video. I just kind of wanted to go down a nice little, take a nice trip down memory lane and maybe not kill anybody while I'm doing it. If anyone gets that reference, kudos. So, like I said, Fallout 3 was by far one of the most interesting takeaways to a series that I've ever played. Because Skyrim, being the amazing game that it is, came out like 3 or 4 years after Fallout 3, and so I had already experienced Skyrim and a lot of those much more vibrant, much more bigger games. Kind of getting into, the Grand Theft Auto series and GTA 5, because at the time that I had played Skyrim, GTA 5 was just coming out, and I had played like Black Ops 2 and games from like 2011 to like 2013. That was kind of the big era that I kind of got into this. But Fallout 3 is by far one of the easiest Fallout games to get into because not only is it an awesome FPS game, it's also a third-person game if you so choose. It has some amazing DLC, fucking the Battle of Anchorage. You can fucking fight in an actual war in this game. You can become a Russian spy or is it a Chinese spy? I don't remember. You can fucking fight aliens. You can play a DLC where it basically extends the base game. Because, for those of you who may not know, until all of the Fallout DLC actually came out, the base game had, once you reach the, a certain mission, the game just ends. Which is why they added DLC for both Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. And in Fallout 3, one of the DLCs, I'm not exactly, can't exactly remember which DLC it is, but I'm actually going to put my Xbox 360 on the background just so I can kind of get a point of reference. But the really, really cool thing with the Xbox 360 back in the day was that DLC came on discs, which was a really, really cool thing for especially Fallout. especially with 3 New Vegas and like Skyrim and Oblivion, is that they would release Game of the Year editions, which, for those of you who may not know, the Game of the Year edition for Fallout 3, actually, for whatever reason, and I do not know why, but the guy who sold this to me gave me the case for just the standard Xbox 360 version of Fallout 3, and he gave me the disc 1 of he gave me disc 1 of the Game of the Year edition. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, Fallout 3 being the first like major RPG that I had played that wasn't Skyrim. I wasn't actually really that big into futuristic games, and especially now, considering how much I like the fucking like Outer Worlds and like Cyberpunk 2077. Fallout was definitely one of my favorite franchises to get into, just because it was just a good thing to kind of escape. Because, like I said, at that time I had been big into like first person shooters. I was big into fucking horror games, survival, psychological horror, that type of deal. And with Fallout 3, it was kind of a really, really cool mixture of FPS, a lot of horror elements, the death claws in this game. Oh my god, the motherfucking death claws. And I just really enjoyed Fallout 3 a lot, and especially Fallout New Vegas, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Fallout New Vegas as well here shortly, but Fallout 3 was definitely my main intro into the series, and honestly, Fallout 3, if I hadn't played Fallout 3 back in the day, I wouldn't have fucking known what the hell Fallout was for a long time, because I am pretty sure, and I might be mistaken, but I actually got Fallout 3 as a gift from a friend of mine, and I went into like I like just exited the vault, and I got killed by a bunch of guys, and I'm like, hey, how the fuck do I actually play this game? And then I just kind of stored the game away for a little bit, and then I got Fallout New Vegas, and New Vegas, especially Fallout New Vegas, fucking New Vegas. Get to not only interact with the big empty, you get where you get a DLC where you get to fucking storm a casino. You get to fucking I don't know, man. Like Fallout New Vegas is such a crazy ass game. Yeah, okay. So you got Mothership Zeta, right? You got Broken Steel, Operation Anchorage, Point Lookout, and The Pit. The Pit is also a really, really cool DLC, fucking escaping a prison and shit. But Point Lookout, I'm pretty sure, is the one on the island. Operation Anchorage is. Wait, no. Broken Steel, I'm pretty sure, is the one where you're like the secret agent. Mothership Zeta is where you fight aliens. Operation Anchorage is where you fight in the Battle of Anchorage. And Point Lookout is the one where you go on the island and you have to fucking fight the like crazy ass scientist dude. And the Pit is where you fucking escape prison. But DLC aside, Fallout 3 is also, between the two games, one of my favorite campaigns as well. I just love the journey of you finding your dad, and then the unfortunate thing is your dad not necessarily living too long after you find him, but doesn't matter. Now, with the other main game between the two Xbox 360 Fallout games, aside from Fallout 3, is Fallout New Vegas. I don't actually have a physical copy of New Vegas anymore, but yeah, you get to befriend a robot, and you get to do his old quest line. Lonesome Road. No, not Lonesome Road. Is it Lonesome Road? I don't remember. But if I'm not mistaken, I also have all the DLC for that. So Lonesome Road DLC, honestly, one of my favorite fucking DLCs. I'm pretty sure the Lonesome Road, as it is the one where you get to befriend the robot fella. I do not have an actual source for me to look into that right now. But honestly, my personal favorite is either Old World Blues or Dead Money. Dead Money, I was really big into horror games as a kid, and Dead Money definitely is basically a fucking psychological survival horror experience just in the game. And then you have, Honest Hearts, which is also really fun DLC. And you have all the side stuff like Courier Stash and the Gunrunners Arsenal, and you get to, do all that. So Fallout New Vegas and both Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 are very content-packed games. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, both games are just perfect if you're wanting to kind of sit back and relax and just like escape into the wasteland a little bit. Now, in terms of Fallout New Vegas, Dovik's Guide to the Wasteland is still a long ways ahead. I still have to, at some point in time, get a fucking either a capture card for my Xbox 360 or my Xbox One, because until then, my PC cannot screen capture very well, and so at some point in time, Dovik's Guide to the Wasteland will be coming out. I announced this shit like 6 months ago, which was basically me just saying, hey, if you're starting out in Fallout New Vegas, I can show you how to fucking at least play up until like level 5, I think. It just kind of like walk you guys through and doing certain early quests, going up to the big old water tower and, digging up graves and finding snow globes and all that fun jazz. But that's not my point. Kind of the point of this video is that Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 are very, very good games. And if you are a fan of the Fallout series but haven't played either Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, please do. I doubt there's anybody out there who hasn't played these games. These games have been out for 15 plus years, and I don't expect any Fallout fan who is a Fallout fan to play games that aren't that. And also, these games now are like $10 a piece just for the base games, and it's like $3 to $4 for DLC. So really, these games are not that difficult to run. Fallout 3 on PC, I think, would be the only real difficult game to run because it kind of was processed through Xbox Live or Games for Windows or whatever the fuck that limited service was. But Fallout 3, I think, is the only game that I think you would have like a good, amount of difficulty actually running. But yeah, like I said, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I both own the games now. I own both the games now and all its DLC. I have been able to experience these games from start to finish without any problems, and also me being able to run them on original hardware. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for fucking yapping. I haven't really had a proper video plan in a good while, and so I just thought was a video to kind of cram together in like 20 fucking minutes, and yeah, I think it'd be fun. I hope you all enjoy, and I am currently signing off for a good while, or just whenever I see you again. Anyway, bye.